All right. Good good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever y'all are. Welcome into the 2025 Famicom Trilogy Any Tournament, brought to you by the multiple classic Mario games speedrunning community in partnership with Speed Gaming. This is Vince Chillin bringing you the action. Right now we have Mars02 and Stewie Cartman for Group A, or the group series, or the group stage of this tournament. So pretty much we have 6 wonderful players going head to head against each other. They're split between 2 groups, and be they'll be matching up against each other at least once in the group stages, and that whatever standings they end up in will determine what placement they're in or the bracket stages. So I but this is gonna be an exciting race. Uh, to prolific multiple Mario game speedrunners here, Mars02 and Stewie Cartman. So I hope you all are doing okay, and I hope you get to enjoy this best of 3 series that is going to unfold for us today. I think we're just looking at our players here to be ready. I think Mars is wrapping up some of his setup. We'll just sit tight here. And while we're waiting for the players to ready up, allow me to give you all a rundown of this category that these players will be going through. So the Famicom Trilogy Any Tournament will obviously do the Famicom Trilogy Any which consists of Super Mario Bros. 1 Japan, which is more or less the same as the one released in the US, or the US version, and then followed by Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels, or Super Mario Bros. 2 Japan, the harder Super Mario Bros. Game, the one that's without the veggies, and then followed by Super Mario Bros. 3 Japan, which is not drastically different compared to the US version, but there are some minor differences which affects the power up state and the transition between levels. And so these runners will be doing all 3 of those games back to back to back. And whoever wins the best of 3, then they get the win, their first win of the tournament. Looks like Stewie has locked in. He is ready. We're just waiting on Mars02. I think he's working on something to be set up here. Once again, I would like to thank you all Thank you all for joining us today for this race. All right, looks like both of them have marked themselves ready. At this point, we shall start the countdown. All right. Good luck to both of our runners. All right. Oh, let's see what's happening here. Is this... Apologies everyone for the technical difficulties here. Looks like the timer has started for both of these runners. I think it's just taking a little while. Okay, here we go. All right, finally we are on our underway for race number 1 of this best of 3. So notice both of these runners are already going for that super mushroom, which helps a lot in situations like these, marathon setting. Uses pretty much, I mean, it's a comfier strat overall instead of just having to do small Mario, which is susceptible to RNG, Hammer Bros. And then you'll probably see both of these runners go for the Fire Flower, which both of them grab pretty cleanly. Of course, you have to take the warp. This is your any percent. Anything's permissible. Warps are pretty much required for any percent. And then you'll see here 4-1 is arguably the easiest level here in Super Mario Bros. 1, speedrunning wise. Because you pretty much just run. Lakitus, Spinies is not ever gonna hit any of these runners as long as you just run straight. Well and good. Arguably the hardest part of this level is the stairs, which both of them were able to do successfully. Then in 4-2 they'll do what is called a wrong warp. They push themselves to a bit to the right of the screen to trick the game into sending them to a different area. Oh no, Stewie got the short end of that. What he did was he right warped, wherein he didn't scroll the screen far enough to be taken to the warp zone. That's gonna be a setback for Stewie. Most likely we'll take him back like a minute and a half. That's usually the time that you lose from unsuccessfully performing the wrong warp. Then again, this is a pretty long game. It's multiple games. 2J is punishing at times, so there's still some room for a comeback here. But you see Mars going past 8-1, no worries, no problem at all. He's at 8-2. Pulling out all the stops, Mars. Even getting a bullet bill shot there. But no need for that. Gets through 8-2 pretty cleanly, that's good. Stewie trying to scroll the screen a little far. Looks like he's just gonna do the regular way here. Let's see. Looks like he's gonna do that's the intended way. And Mars at 8-3, these Hammer Bros, this is definitely one of those levels where you will benefit the most. Having a Fire Flower, just shooting down those bros, no problem. And then he's past 8-3. If you're small Mario, usually these Hammer Bros, if you don't know the pattern, they can just do whatever. And you will instantly take a debt. Even from one of those Hammer Bros. And then here you go, Mars doing a 2-frame wall jump setup where he just walks off the pipe from the entrance. And then that sets him up for 2 frames. And then he does another wrong warp there, where he scrolling the screen far enough to take you to a different room than the game intended to bring you to. That pipe that Mars entered in, that wasn't supposed to be the right one. But by scrolling the screen, you save a little time compared to doing it the normal way. And there you go. And just like that, Mars02 finishes up Super Mario Bros. 1, and he's about to load up Mario 2 Japan. And you notice that Mars was waiting between these 2 games. That is part of the rules here. 25 seconds is required for these runners to wait when they're loading between games. That eliminates the variance in loading up different games. So you don't gain time with a faster game switch. Which makes the gameplay more critical than the loading times. And you'll see Mars02 getting past 1-1, no problems at all. And just a little bit of background on the lost levels. It's, in a nutshell, Mario 1 but on steroids in terms of difficulty. You see here, Stewie just about to wrap up 8-4, couple rooms away. And then you'll see on the other side, Mars doing the 1-2 warp. Pretty long path before you even get to the warp zone in World 4. And he does so successfully. Stewie getting a Loadaboo there. But that is okay, that's the damage to take. He's out of SMB1. Mars02, you may have noticed him grabbing the power-ups. Interesting strategy. Possibly to make the Bowser fight easier in 4-4. You notice Mario 1, you technically don't have to kill Bowser in 8-4 in Mario 1 because you can the timer ends when you grab the axe. And killing Bowser just wastes a little more time than intended. But in Mario 2 Japan, or the Lost levels, there's 2 Bowser levels that you have to deal with, one of which is in World 4. And that Bowser may be a little tricky at times. So grabbing your fire suit before facing that Bowser might be beneficial. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out for Mars. And you'll see him here do like a hesitation on that bullet bill. Sometimes you get a bad bullet bill where it's just in your way. So good call on his end to just wait out on that. Especially if you don't know your patterns there. It's definitely a more comfortable strat. And here's the 4-4 level that we were talking about earlier. This will have a Bowser, as with any castle level. So we get struggling a bit there. Oh, took damage. He has to go under that gap. I guess that the game intended for you to, you know, take it safe. Or be small Mario to gain entry to warp into World 4. But you can duck under that and you can run under it. And then you'll see there Mars taking care of that Bowser pretty nicely. Well played on his end. You'll notice there's also a load time between 4-4 and 5-1. Those load frames will vary depending on the system that you're using. Especially for those who are using the Famicom disk system. Then World 5-1 is where Mars02 is in. And you notice at the beginning there were upside down piranha plants. And then the super jump by Mars02. Well played. That super jump, the way it requires the player to do a walking speed bop against the Koopa, because it's pretty much how the mechanics work, the physics work in the game. You jump off of a Koopa the highest if you're on walking speed. And then in 5-2, you'll see him try to do a wrong warp or some sort. But it's called the Devil Spell, where he goes underneath the lip of the pipe and enters it. The way it works is those lips on the pipes, even the upside down pipes. So what the developers did was they took the regular pipe lip and then they used the same thing, but for the upside down pipes. So, and the developers just didn't turn off the pipes. So all of the upside down pipes, if you get underneath the corner, you can enter them all the time. And it sends you to a different place depending on where you are in the level or what previous levels you've played. But yeah. You see there, Mars02 getting past 8-1, pretty fine. Stewie just got past World 4. A lot of catching up to do on this side, but we shall see how it turns out. And Mars02 grabbing that flagpole. You can't really grab the top of the flagpole unless you're Luigi. Because Luigi in Mario Bros. 2 Japan, he jumps higher. And some of the levels in the game would have flagpoles designed for Luigi. Definitely A2 being the case. You'll see on the right side Stewie going for the intended route to go up that high wall. Obviously the super jump is faster the way Mars did it. But sometimes the Koopas would be in a different position that would bar you from doing the super jump altogether. And Mars02, he's taking advantage of the duck swim animation, where you just hold duck and then swim. That way the game just remembers or just keeps your ducking animation. And that allows you to go underneath fire bars. And you'll see Mars02 finishing up. This is the second to the last room. There's a couple Koopas there. He takes care of that masterfully. In this last room, funny clip. Easiest clip of the game, arguably. Just run off that ledge there. And then he can challenge Bowser all he wants. No problem. Mario 3-time or Mars02. Well played. He's finished 2 games in the span of around 14 minutes. Not too bad. In fact, that's pretty clean, if I do say so myself. And then he's gonna do another 25-second intermission before he heads on to SMP3, which he has started right about now. You may notice off the bat, when as soon as he entered 1-1, you'll see that transition into the level. It kind of does a spiral thingy, a swirl. Transition into the level. That's one of the main differences between the US version and the Japanese version. And you'll see it again there as he just entered 1-2. Looks like he just missed the P speed, but he regains it not too long after. And for Mario 3, for those who are used to Mario 3 US version, you will have to grab 2 warp whistles to warp to World 8, straight from World 1. And another difference here, right now, you'll see Mars in the mushroom room, mushroom house. That message is in Japanese, and the Japanese version of the message in the mushroom house is much shorter than the English version. That's a little bit of time save on top of all the slow level in transitions. You'll see him grab that second warp whistle in the fortress. Well played. He grabbed the leaf coming out of 1-3 and he used that to propel himself in the fortress. There's an alternative version that you could do where you keep your big Mario suit until the fortress. You grab the leaf and then you go up. It's a little it's more risky, definitely. But the one that Mars did, pretty safe, pretty comfy. And then Stewie finishes Mario 1 towards Bowser for the bonus there. He's gonna do his 25-second intermission. 17-minute mark is sorry, Mario 2 Japan, he's finished. 17 minutes is the marker there. So 3-minute separation between these two players. Stewie shot at 1-1. You'll see he's not gonna go for that power up. Well played. A lot of ground to cover, and he's doing it pretty well so far in 1-1. Mars opted for the safer Super Mushroom in 1-1. Let's see if he can get the early P speed here. Looks like he's on pace to do that. There you go. Little by little, chipping away that enormous lead that Mars has right now. Mars is done with the super tanks. Getting ready for that Navy. He's got to be a little careful here. He's gonna go for this fire strat where you use your P speed. Oh, looks like he didn't get it. But oh, look at that, so smooth. Gets that backup, no problem. There's a P speed strat there where you can fly up into that block to grab that fire flower. And the one that Mars02 did was the previously known strat that players would use. You'll see here Stewie Cartman doing the aggressive fortress there. You'd love to see it. That's the portion where you do a little more. You do a little bit of a duck jump there, spawn the leaf, grab the leaf, keep P speed, fly on up. I would say that would save like maybe several seconds, definitely, if not a few seconds. Both of these players are now in the scrolling levels. Let's see what the hands say. Oh, that looks like someone got grabbed into the abyss. Of course, who doesn't love the hands in Mario 3? Of course, the Japanese version also has those 3 hands. One hand for Mars, not too bad. He's up in the clouds now. That's gonna be hard to beat. You'll notice Mars up in the clouds, the Air Force, twice the auto-scrolling speed. You gotta be a little more precarious here. Oh, he's got it. He's done a lot of these. He has the fire. Eliminate those rocky wrenches. Making them look so easy. And it's good too, strat-wise, to eliminate those rocky wrenches. Because the wrenches that they throw, they can come back. They can come back and get you. If you don't eliminate them. There you go. That finishes the first wave of auto scrollers for Mars. He's gonna go to the 8-1. Stewie's shot at the fire grab here. Let's see if he pulls it off. Back up. Oh no, he lost the power up there. That's another major difference between the US and the Japanese version. As Mars02 cleanly goes through 8-1. Well done. In Mario 3 Japan, when you take a hit, it's like Mario 1. You lose all. Doesn't matter if you're Super Mario, Fire Mario, Tanuki Mario, Hammer Mario. Oh no, Mars also taking a hit, showing us that mechanic. An opportune time. But he's now in the fortress. He grabs the leaf that he got from the one of the hand stages. Pretty convenient from on his side. I've been looking at the different at the delayed screen. Okay, I'm now back in the right screen. Mars02 in the fortress. making the cycle there, and you have to push on that P switch to get to this boom boom fight, which he handles pretty well. Stewie gets the first hand, unfortunately. Good avoidance with the bros there, but gets hammered by that giant hammer bro. My goodness. Well, I guess that's a good strat, I guess. He avoided all the hands on the second try. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's interesting. It's all part of the manipulation. Every time you get beaten by by the hand, if you don't beat the hand level, you get sent back to the beginning. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to fight the hand again. For all we know, you could just bypass the hand that you just died in, which is definitely the case on Stewie's side. Mars02 with the wave 2 of the auto-scroll. This is the last auto-scroller before the final Bowser fight. Pretty solid run so far from Mars02. One level left from his end. Right now, Stewie's shot at 8-1. He'll grab that power up right here. And then Mars, he has a lot of time to spare here. And got a commanding lead that he built for race number 1. We will have a chance to catch up in the next race. Remember, this is a best of 3 race. Best of 3 match. Mars keeping that P-speed in the second to the last screen. That's real tricky, but he did pretty well. Doing a safe strat here. And he takes care of Bowser. GG's out to Mars02. Timer ends as soon as he enters the door. He's Stewie Cartman taking the quicksand. Pretty neat Easter egg. Mars02 with a 26-minute time. Glad to see it. That's a score on his side. Needs one more win to take the first game of this tournament. Let's switch over to Stewie. I'll root for him here. Let's see if he makes it. Makes the first cycle. In the fortress in World 8, you have to hit the P-switch and then enter the room that appears, or the door that appears only when the P-switch is on. Which is why it's critical to make that cycle, which is around 15 seconds. My mistake. 15 seconds is the time that you lose from not making it that first cycle. Just to be granular with the timer here, 25:53, 26 with the loads, on his end. Well played. These auto scroller levels are pretty chill. Everything just happens at exact moments where you expect them to. They all run in a cycle. All these all these cannonball launchers, these bob-ombs. They're in a pattern. And for the most part, you just stick yourself on the right side of the screen, and that takes care of most of the enemies. So he takes care of that. Boom, boom. And then he's on his way to the last level of the game. Oh, good avoidance there on the laser. A good clip. Because why not? Let's see a good clip. Well, that looks like a good attempt. Third time's the charm. Let's see. Oh, okay. He's gonna go up the elevator this time. Stewie did put up a grand effort trying to catch up, especially with a relatively clean World 1 versus Mars. And then Stewie's trying to do a wall clip here, just for fun. Maybe I'm gonna try another one. Yeah, no, it's that kind of race for Stewie, unfortunately. But he will have a blank slate, a clean slate when he gets out of this match number 1, with this race number 1. Bowser fight for him, and you'll see him go up instead of down, unlike Mars. That is the more aggressive strat, but it's susceptible to RNG elements. GG's out to Stewie Cartman. He finishes up around 30 minutes. Attaboy! 30-10 finish for Stewie Cartman. Let's set up a new race here. That's your race number 1. Mars takes race number 1. He's in a 1-0 lead. His chance to wrap it up in this upcoming race number 2. Just get ready for race number 2 here. I think it's a good showcase of what's to come for all these runners. A lot of elements happening, especially in 2J. And of course, 3J is always there, your hands. That's always an element of surprise for these runners. That can always flip the script, make it lean towards one runner than the other. But you know, it's part of the game. These players know what they're up to, what they're getting into. And they just let up. Sometimes you just gotta let the RNG decide. And I think that makes it a little more exciting, you know? It just gives a little bit of uncertainty. On top of course, skill level, you gotta be skilled enough to put yourself in a good position. For all we know, Sui can do a reverse sweep. The races don't accumulate, or the times don't accumulate. Once you're done with the race, back on equal footing. These two players. At this time, I would like to thank you all once again, all our viewers here on Speed Gaming, and thank you to Speed Gaming for accommodating the multiple classic Mario games speedrunning community for this tournament this year. Last year we did the NES Trilogy, which you may have caught on from last year. Mario 1, Mario 2 U, Mario 3. And thank you for all the viewers today. Appreciate y'all having a lot of Mario. Okay, looks like we're still waiting for that next race room here. One more win on Mars' end before he gets the first win for this tournament. Looks like there's okay, so it looks like the room's ready. Good. And FYI for y'all, so for the regular category, I mean, on a regular basis, like on the speedrun.com leaderboards, the way we time these multiple classic Mario games categories is we remove the load times in between games. So in case you're wondering, Stewie's time comes down to a 29:16 without loads, sub 30, not too bad. And then Mars is at sub 25. We're talking about 24:56, 24:57 loads remove time. It looks like both of our runners are ready. Race number 2. Both of these runners are ready. Let's do the countdown. See if Mars will take the game or Stewie will come back and win this game. Pretty much the first race was decided, unfortunately, by that. For those who just missed, the first race, Mars has won. 25 minutes more or less with loads. Stewie got like around 30 minutes. The main factor was the Mario 1 wrong warp in 4-2. But in any case, here come our two runners. Race number 2. Where's Mario 1 once again? So we might have missed that jump in the end of that platform. That's alright. gets 1 in the flagpole here. It will get fireworks, but it doesn't waste time. It doesn't lose time. Since it's just 1 firework. But 3 and 6 fireworks when it starts to lose time. 3 fireworks takes you back 1 second. 6 fireworks takes you back a little around 2 seconds. Let me switch to Mars here. He's in the lead, so a little bit in the lead here. Once again, 4-1. We shall see how Stewie's gonna approach 4-2 this time. Definitely he's gonna be more cautious on making sure that he does the wrong warp correctly. But again, 4-1, one of your easier levels in Mario 1. Arguably the easiest level. And here's comes your critical 4-2. They're just gonna do a duck bit underneath those pipes. Because the way the game works here, if you got a big Mario and he's stuck underneath a 1 block gap, the game just pushes him to the right. And these players are taking advantage of that mechanic to perfection. Both players now getting past 4-2 unscathed. And you'll see 8-1 here. A lot of pipe jumps. For the longer levels in this game, no checkpoints from this point onward. Definitely 8-1, not the level where you want to start over again. It is almost a minute. Looks like they are good to go. 200 on the timer for both of these players. Things are cooking up. These players both neck in neck. So in the middle of the level, coming up is the blank jump. You're forced to slow down here. Both of them bonk on the pipe, no problem. And oh no, Stewie takes a dive after the launcher. That is unfortunate. He will have to do take 2 again. Probably take him back 15, maybe 20 seconds. He'll grab this safety mushroom. Mars into 8-3. Hammer Bros will not be a problem here. He has fire. He can just snipe them down. He'll be taking his time in A2. Getting past that area where he died in. And Stewie almost got bullet bell glitch. Good attempt. Props to Stewie for that. Might as well. Mars on the other side on your left, he is an 8-4. Last level of Mario 1. Gonna do the 2-frame wall jump again. Set up here on the pipe. And he nails the jump. Same way as he did last time. And then Stewie taking damage in that last bro. Second to the last bro. Which is fine. That's what the mushroom power-up was for. That's exactly what that's for. Good call from his side. Take a little bit of time loss. Propel yourself forward. Give yourself a good shot. It is still everyone's game. As Mars finishes up Mario 1 with that Bowser fight, he takes damage, but that's the damage to take. Once you're in the last room, you're past that hammer bro, you get hit by the Podoboo. that is okay. You can use your invincibility frames to get past Bowser without a worry at all. And Mars02, he's gonna start Mario 2, Japan. As Stewie's about to wrap up his Mario Bros. 1. He's gotta be a little careful here. He challenges Bowser and wins the hammer battle. He's out of SMB1 himself. Pretty known to. He's pretty known to just challenge Bowser every time. Obviously gets the better end of that. Mars02 taking care of his 1-1. Now he's in the second level here. We're seeing around, I would say 30 seconds difference between these two players. Pretty much a level difference. You'll see Mars does intentionally wait at a particular level area in the level. That is to manipulate the platform that propels him upwards to this room. The thing is, if you don't do that manipulation, you'll have to wait for a platform that's all the way down that pit. And he does the warp to World 4 yet again. You'll see him grab that power up here. This is pretty much the same route that he's doing from last game. You know, if something ain't broke, don't fix it. And Stewie or get to World 4 himself. While Mars has fire, getting into 4-2. It's definitely 2J, one of the infamous games of one of the most infamous Mario games of all time, arguably, because of the difficulty spike. But these runners love it. Love the challenge of Mario 2. And to some extent, I guess you could say that for some runners, they would rather run 2J as opposed to Mario 1. Precisely because of that extra challenge. You'll see here Mars in 4-3. But I bet if you play this game casually, that's gonna be a nightmare. Oh, Mars taking a duck. He has to do a duck on that bullet bill, which he does so perfectly. Good reaction on his end. Then Stewie's gonna be a bit on the end in 4-2. So there's a Koopa in the way, conveniently in the way. Okay, Mars02 going for the clip. Love to see it. A bit aggressive here. Bowser fight will be no problem. Nice kill as he grabbed the axe. Splendid job. Wait a bit here. That's your loading time. But pretty much the way the Famicom disc system works, like at least for this game, there's two sides of the disc, right? So you load side A, and then side B would be the next half of the game, which is in this game World 5 onwards, and the letter words, as the wit mentioned in the chat too. Yeah, Worlds A to D. Some of them are pretty fine actually. I guess D4 is difficult, but yes. You'll see Mars doing the setup again for the super jump. He nails it again. Well played. I stand corrected there. Thanks, DeWitt, for correction there. I guess it's just part of the game being on a disc that requires a bit of loading time. Appreciate the correction there. Let's see. Stewie on 5-1, Mars on 5-2. And he does the Devil's spell again. Well played. And that's a precarious area to deal with too. Let's see how Stewie does the super jump. Oh, we just missed it! Okay, okay. Good cleanup though. He barely avoids that Koopa, which would have ricocheted off of him if he didn't jump early enough. So props on his side. Mars is out of 8-1 as we speak. The gap widens tad bit. Be grabbing that power up there. One of my favorite power up locations, if I do say so myself. Interesting level design. And then we'll see Stewie's shot at going to the warp zone. This is what he did last game too. Just do the regular route. It's a little safer. I mean, then again, 2J, you're not really safe. But choose your poison. You choose your poison every time. Mars in an 8-3. Stewie in 8-1. Now the gap has widened to 2 levels between these two runners. For those who are wondering, the patterns in 8-3, you'll see it's also the same theme as if in World 1, in Mario 1, where you just get a lot of Hammer Bros. But the patterns, they're not dependent on your pace. They pretty much do the same thing, regardless of the pace that you're in. But technically speaking, you could just do Small Mario for 2J runs, which we will see from other runners, or as we go along this tournament. Got Mars. That's the 3rd room. Now he's in the 4th room. Duedit, sorry, I must have mispronounced your name. I apologize. Duedit? Duedit? I just realized now. Oh, clean! Jump through the hammers for Mars02. He's out of Mario 2. Now he's gonna do the 25-second intermission. In time for Mario 3. And this is his race to lose. He's definitely in the driver's seat. Got another commanding lead. Maybe not as commanding as it was last game, but anything can still change. Especially with the hands in question. Mars going for that safe power-up in 1-1. Eliminates the possibility of dying in 1-1 due to that bop. Okay, let's see. Stewie times it well. Shoots down that piranha plant for good measure. He's out of that room. He's now 2 rooms away. And Mars gets that P-Speed. Need for speed. And he's out of 1-2. So he takes damage. That is okay. There's still a power-up at the end there. safety mushroom time for Stewie on his side. And Mars02 pretty much replicating his strategy from last race. Stewie takes damage, but no problem, he's out of Mario 2 Japan. Not getting the super risky ending glitch. Thank you for empathizing, Domino Bright. Mars02 flying up to the fortress. Getting to that secret hidden door. Let's see Stewie's crack at 1-1 here. That dangerous Koopa Bob, he handles it pretty nicely. He's out of 1-1. And Mars02 on his way to World 8. Using those 2 warp whistles. And Stewie's crack at 1-2 looks clean as well. 1-3. He's pulling all the stops. Aggressive start there. Well played. As you may know, Stewie Cartman, this is his bread and butter right here, Mario 3. And he's showing you exactly why. He's gonna hope for a nasty mistake on Mars's end at this point. The hands could keep him within striking distance. If Mars gets 3 hands, Stewie gets no hands, that would be big. That would greatly benefit his cause. You see Mars here, he's eliminating the enemies, keeping it to a minimum. That's what we call a lag reduction strat. That's with any NES games or any games at all. Especially for NES games. Try to minimize the number of sprites or the number of enemies in the screen. And the way to do that is eliminate the enemies when you can. Every frame matters. Especially for high level runs. And Mars is no stranger to those. Stewie Cartman into the auto-scrollers. Mars02 nails the strat. This time the P-Speed, the fly into the fire block. Well done. Making up for that need to do the backup. That's what makes the P-Speed strat convenient and effective. Because just in case you don't get P-Speed, you can still run it back with the old strat as a last resort. You're essentially trying to do 2 attempts to grab the fire. And guess for each. Then 42 says 2 hands to 1 for the hands. Could we get a 3-0 in favor of Stewie? Maybe we can speak it. We can put it in the chat into existence. Let's see some good TV. Just kidding. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, Mars gets the first hand. Stewie's cracked at the P-Speed strat. Let's see if he nails it this time. Ooh, he gets the backup though. Again, the point, what we mentioned earlier, exactly what we mentioned. The P-Speed strat much effective. Oh no, Mars gets the second. Okay, things are tipping to Stewie's favor. But he has to get no hands. Lock it in. Mars skips second hand. Sorry, skips the third hand. Now back at the Air Force. Looks like Ben, you got it right. GG on the good guess. On the correct guess. Right, Stewie. Rooting for you, Stewie, but we want no hands on your side. Let's see it, okay? Do your thing. Game, do your thing. Why am I talking to Stewie? It's on the game now. All in the hands of the game. Oh no, he gets the first hand. As he would like to call it, the 99% hand. Not my words. Hopefully this is the only hand. Please, game. Let it happen. No, he got second hand too. Oh my gosh. This is fine. And he takes a dive. Oh no. Let him miss a jump. But he skipped second and third hand. That's interesting. Similar event that happened to him as last time. Does that count 2-1? I think that counted 2-1, that Nat, huh? You're clear this time. You're off the hook, says that Nat. Mars, he's just killing it right now. Technically, Stewie gets one hand, if you want to put it that way. Ben did get his parlay, his virtual parlay. Mars in the fortress in World 8. No, Ben 42, you should have said 3-0. That, for all we know, that could have just happened, you know. Mars does the first cycle again. Consistent play by Mars02. And Stewie Cartman is going to get the flower. That will benefit his